All right, folks, I show 5 o'clock. Anybody else? We're good?
Straight up.
But yeah. So if you have any other questions, you can give me a call or just send me a letter through the inter-district mail.
All right, folks, here we go. It is Tuesday, August 11th, 2020 at 5 o'clock. I will now open the regular scheduled board meeting with Palo Verde College Board of Trustees for Tuesday, August 11th, 2020. The Palo Verde College Board of Trustees welcomes you to our board meeting today. While community is under public meeting restrictions and stay-at-home orders issued by state and local authorities, our board meetings will be accessible to members of the public via Zoom, telephone, YouTube live streaming. Board members will be participating from remote locations, and there will be no physical location for which members of the public may attend. Any public comments received via email up to 1/2 hour before the start of the meeting will be read into the record by the meeting moderator. These temporary modifications to the public meeting law have been authorized by executive orders from the governor, and until further notice, our board meetings will be held in this manner. Our board is committed to the continued education and safety of our students, our faculty, our staff, and our community stakeholders. We thank you for your patience and understanding during this difficult time, and we will now begin our meeting. Please rise to me, salute our flag for the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic and one nation under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay, my Zoom just checked out on me.
All right, easy does it.
Give me a quick second. I gotta get signed back in. Well, there we go. Okay, can everybody hear me? Yes?
Yes.
Yes.
Ms. Millian, roll call, please.
Mr. Arneson,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Gonzalez, Mr. Hyduke,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramirez,
Here.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Here.
Ms. Stiers,
Here.
Dr. Thomas,
Here.
Dr. Wallace,
Here.
Dr. Bauer, Ms. Slagan,
Here.
Okay, at this time, I'll entertain a motion for the approval of minutes for the June 9 regular meeting.
Move to approve.
I've got a motion, a second.
Second.
In a second. Any questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Mr. Hyduke,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Here.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
All right, moving forward, I'll now entertain a motion for the approval of the June 23rd, 2020 special meeting minutes.
I'll
Move
move.
to approve.
I've got a motion, a second, please.
Second.
I've got a motion, and a second. Questions, comments, concerns? Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Mr. Hyduke,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
All right. I'll now entertain a motion for approval of the July 21st, 2020 special meeting minutes.
So move.
I've got a motion, a second, please.
Second.
I've got a motion, and a second. Questions, comments, concerns? Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Mr. Hyduke,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Okay. 1.7, I'll now entertain a motion for the approval of tonight's agenda.
So moved.
I've got a motion and a second. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Mr. Hyduke,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Okay. Announcement of recusal from any certain agenda item.
Recusal for Ms. Stiers on 10.2, please.
Board notes that, please. Mr. Rehnquist, what about 10.3?
I don't see it. Give that to me again.
10.3 is the approval of your absence from,
Okay,
okay. So we
All right.
got
I'm good now.
the board notes Mr. Rehnquist for agenda item number 10.3. And Sunil, no Sunil today?
no.
Okay. All right, moving right along. Agenda item number 2, hearing of citizens on agenda items. Ms. Millian, do we have any?
No, sir, we don't.
Okay. In that case, that carries us right into reports. 3.1 CTA, CCA, Mr. Castillo. Welcome, good to see you.
Good evening, board. Good evening, Dr. Wallace and everybody else. So the faculty virtually returned to campus on Thursday, August 6th to their 2 flex days last week. And everything went well in terms of the flex days with the content and the presentations and all. And right now the classes are going. We had a rocky start, which I'll address later, but things appear to be smoothing out. Faculty are getting their teaching assignments updated, and new classes are coming on. Enrollment is making, and so faculty is just steaming along. And I also want to take this time as well too to welcome our new faculty on to Paul Verde College, starting with Eric Atkinson in English, Timothy Brolin in sociology, Michael Calabrese in welding, Alberto Edredon in math, and Esmeralda Lopez in English. So they all attended the flex days, introduced themselves, and they're happy to be here. And I've been working closely with them to get them acquainted with working here at the college and teaching here under the current circumstances. So what's happened in the past couple of days is the effect of what happened actually about 2 weeks ago. We had a rocky start for the semester, and something I would just want to bring to the attention of the board is that from here on, the faculty would very much appreciate and actually needs some collaboration with, not between just the faculty union and the Senate, but also with the administration on planning things during the pandemic. Because if this continues into the fall, and I say if this pandemic continues into the spring, we really all need to work together as to what's going on, and not just for the faculty and the staff and everyone who works at Paul Verde College, but also for the students as well too. Because what happened a couple of weeks ago, when our face-to-face courses, or when we were expected to return to campus, we were notified that 2 weeks prior to the semester, start of the semester, our courses, our face-to-face courses, were going to transition over to online. And so that became a challenge for the faculty to decide what to do in preparation for this new mode, online mode and correspondence, when some of us had been, like for myself, had been prepared for coming back to campus to teach those courses. So really what I'm addressing here is that there has to be an open line of communication between all parties involved for what's going on campus today, tomorrow, next week, next month, for the entire semester, and maybe leading into the spring semester. So if we're to return this to the spring semester for face-to-face courses, we should plan together for that. The administration, the faculty, the staff, even with the students. We don't have our student rep here with us tonight because ultimately what happened is that this, some of the students that I had in my face-to-face courses were blindsided by the cancellations that were happening, and we were wondering if the courses would be offered online or correspondence. In some cases, the correspondence courses that were supposed to be open to them were already full by then by our other students fairly enrolled. And so online became something, for some students, it becomes a challenge, but they overcame it. They went out and they enrolled and they got on. And that's where it comes right down to, is that there was some chaos that ensued from 2 weeks ago. And eventually we have come through it, and we're working with each other. Bijou, Raman, and I have been going back and forth about, what to do next, and also with Sarah as well too. The three of us have been in email conversations as like, what's going on here, what's going on there, how can we fix this problem, and that's what we're doing to address these challenges. So that is just the bottom line message from the faculty on the union side of things is there has to be some communication, there has to be some planning. If we are going to be returning in the spring, we have 4 months to prepare for that, for some talks between administration, the faculty, staff, and the students. What's our plan? And it can't be something that we wait months for, 4 months, and then decide 2 weeks before the start of the spring semester something's going to happen. And that's really what happened 2 weeks ago. And so we need to have some foresight. We need to have a plan. And right now there is some inklings of a plan, some ideas going forth. For example, some of the faculty divisions are already planning spring 20 for the spring semester already ahead of time, as if the pandemic were to continue into the spring, to offer online and correspondence courses. So that way they can make load, students can enroll and take their classes while they're on track. And if we do return to the campus in the spring semester, it's far easier to add face-to-face courses on that end of it than cancel those face-to-face courses and do exactly what we did this semester, this go around. So at least there are some ideas going out there, and we're all working together, and we're trying to solve the problems that come up and fix them. So that way we're prepared for a return to campus, hopefully in the spring, or maybe by next fall, who knows? We're not in control of any of this. And other things, this week, Sarah Frid and I, the Academic Center President, and I are supposed to be meeting with Dr. Wallace to talk about some of these issues, to work out and smooth some things over. And I look forward to that meeting, to where the three of us can get together and talk about, well, how can we make life easier for everybody all around? And of course, the students are the #1 priority, but the students won't come if they don't see some kind of organization, something that's going on, because it was chaotic for some of our students in the past 2 weeks. Like, what's going on with my class? It's been canceled for a second or third time again. What's going on, Mr. Castillo? What's going on, Ms. Frid? What's going on, Dr. Hidegi? Okay. We're really trying to work out something here. And I look forward to that meeting with Dr. Wallace. I look forward to the rest of this semester, and not just teaching, but also working with you and the board and letting you know what's going on. And for this year, we, the faculty, we're determined to teach. We're determined to be here for the students in any way, shape, or form, whether that's virtual or physically on campus. And that will conclude my report, unless any board members have any questions for me.
All right, questions for Mr. Castillo? Hearing none, Mr. Castillo, thank you very much.
All right, thank you.
Academic Senate, Mrs. Freed.
Hi.
Aye.
Good evening, everyone, board members and administration. There's quite a bit to report on in regards to the faculty's return for this new academic year. So please bear with me as I attempt to dutifully impart this information, hopefully in a concise but thorough manner. Some of what I have to say overlaps a bit with Richard and his report, which probably makes sense since we work together, the union and the academic senate. First, I'd like to start off with our highly successful and engaging flex days that we held last Thursday and Friday via Zoom. Thursday morning probably was one of the most important sessions that we had. We kicked it off with about an hour-and-a-half discussion with ISP and CVSP educational staff, namely the principals and the proctors for both facilities. And as students from CDCR locations comprise nearly half the typical annual headcount for our institution for PVC, and ISP and CVSP are the locations that boast the most PVC students of that cohort, it was really essential that faculty get logistical information firsthand on how each institution is operating. And I'm not really sure how much specific communication was happening over the summer between our instruction office and these institutions, but in any event, there wasn't very much specific information relayed to faculty. So this was a really great opportunity for us to learn about the COVID-19 operations so that we can align realistic and appropriate deadlines, assignments, and flexible late policies to support student learning. In a typical term, we can expect that there are a myriad of delays. And now we know there's going to be an additional 12 or 13 days of quarantining paperwork, all paperwork between PVC and each of these institutions. This is due to revised work schedules, mandatory holding times of materials, so that we can all limit the spread of infection. These delays are all cumulative. So while we will have a wider berth between sending information, assignments, and projects to the students and receiving them, it also means that faculty need to really plan in advance any communications that we're sending out to students, like weeks in advance, a month in advance, really. We also learned that there are significant textbook issues with CDCR students being able to acquire them for this new term, which again has always been a bit of a barrier, but now it's compounded exponentially so. And like Richard, I'm pleased to report that faculty are meeting these challenges with compassion, with professionalism, and with a mindfulness for equity. We are seeking to bridge whatever gap we may come across with whatever tools we can get our hands on. We're looking to solve problems, work with administration, and meet the students' needs at every turn. Perhaps one of the most important pieces of information that was relayed was the CDCR educational phases. They're currently in phase 1, which is 100% independent study. Students do not leave their living quarters. Proctoring is completely unavailable. Educational staff visit students about once a week to collect work and pass out new packets from PVC. Phase 2, which they are not anticipating at any time during this year, consists of about a third of the students being brought in at a time to the educational classrooms for 3 days a week. This would still require students to do the bulk of their work as independent study, but it would allow us extremely limited proctoring. Phase 3 is allowing half the students into the educational classrooms 4 days a week. And phase 4 is 100% of the students having access to the educational classrooms 5 days a week. Because we are bound by equity and parity laws, because we highly value our relationship with the CDCR and believe in our students there, it is essential that we prioritize this information as we plan for the rest of the fall term, for the spring 2021 schedule and the spring registration process, which ultimately begins like the end of October, beginning of November. Late changes to the schedule, as we're doing now, right now for this fall, to any correspondence modalities make it nearly impossible for our CDCR students to be aware of their changed registration status, obtain a syllabus, obtain a textbook, and submit an assignment prior to the deadline that we as faculty have. We're bound by Title V to clear our rosters of inactive enrollment by the census date. This leads to a really highly stressful, charged time for both students and faculty, and it doesn't position our students for success. The massive number of changes that happened to the fall schedule in the past 2 weeks and is still ongoing has been chaotic and stressful. Some of the stress comes from modality changes, going from a face-to-face to either online or correspondence with just very little time to adjust. Some faculty who teach mostly face-to-face are concerned with being able to make their minimum teaching load. And some faculty who've been preparing all summer for one set of classes have now found all of those classes canceled and assigned a completely new set of classes. And some of those are in a brand new modality for some of our faculty members. So I'm sure you can imagine this is really difficult, and it's at times a bit more than a bit disheartening. We had time and the information to better prepare. The faculty were advising and requesting the administration that we plan the fall schedule only in remote instruction. This would allow the faculty all summer to train, to prepare for online and correspondence. And I acknowledge that while this plan would work for the majority of our schedule, it wouldn't work for all of our courses, because at the time that we were recommending this, there were courses that could not be taught remotely because of the limitations of modality approved on the course outline of record. However, the Chancellor's Office in their March 2020 memo outlined a workaround for colleges to appropriately deal with this emergency situation, and that's called the Distance Education Emergency Addendum. The PVC Academic Senate, along with various faculty from counseling, CTE, wet lab, and performance disciplines, strongly advised and requested to both the VP of Instruction and Student Services and the Dean to submit the Distance Education Emergency Addendum to the Chancellor's Office last spring. The deadline for this addendum was July 1st, and we are one of the only colleges that didn't submit this document. The response to faculty from the administration was, we will not submit this addendum. We've reviewed all of the courses planned for the fall, and it's unnecessary. We're just going to plan for a normal fall. But we all know that on July 21st, just 3 weeks from the beginning of the term, we were informed by President Wallace that the college was reversing this action and offering nearly all of our fall term remotely, and to work with the instruction office to accomplish this. And it was then that a barrage of sudden, swift changes to the schedule were happening. I want to note and make everyone aware that when we change the modality of a course, even if the course is the same, we have to completely cancel the course, which drops all the students on the roster. And we need to add a new course onto the schedule. We can't simply transfer the student's enrollment from one section to the other. The student needs to do that independently. Additionally, students receiving financial aid grants are deeply impacted by the elimination of face-to-face classes, as correspondence courses require a different and lesser calculation of aid. So for community students who applied early, registered for face-to-face classes, finished up their financial aid paperwork, and got a final calculation of aid, are now also in a big state of upheaval in terms of what kind of aid they're looking at. Hindsight, reflection, and step-by-step analysis of past events always gleans a clarity that we could not have had prior to. The outbreak of the novel coronavirus has upended everyone's lives and how we do just about everything, and PVC is no exception. The intersection of COVID-19 safety precautions, state and county government shutdowns and mandates, the Chancellor's Office guidelines and mandates, the CDCR requirements and phases, the community students' needs, equity concerns, and educational objectives of hands-on disciplines is just a heck of a lot to hold on to and devise the wisest course of action. It's no wonder that this term is not rolling out in the smoothest way imaginable. However, I would like to note that in the past week, the administration has been supportive of submitting the emergency addendum and has been in communication with the Chancellor's Office regarding a possible late submission. The last I heard, maybe an hour and a half ago, the faculty and the administration have identified and agreed upon 69 courses to be listed on this addendum. And while it's important to note that we may not get approval and it may not work out in the way that we would like, the faculty carry an immense sense of gratitude for the effort to follow through on this. Thank you so much, Dr. Wallace, for the confirmation of this submission today. I truly, truly, truly appreciate it. Any course that is approved through this addendum would allow the maximum amount of flexibility for faculty to adjust and attune to student needs and government mandates or guidelines. So in conclusion, on behalf of the Academic Senate, I'm asking for the continued support of the board and the administration to help empower us this upcoming year, to listen when we speak from our areas of expertise, and to include us in the solution process. To paraphrase the Safe Campus Reopening Work Group document sent out by the Chancellor's Office, we're not going to be going back to normal anytime soon. So we need to be planning for a lot of remote instruction for the foreseeable future. And with that said, the Senate wants to be an active partner in moving forward in collaborating for a safe and wise COVID-19 era instruction plan for our campus. Thank you. And if you have any questions, I'm done now.
Any questions for Academic Senate?
Thank you for the report.
Just read, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Okay, 3.3, CSEA, Chapter 180, Richard Soto, President or his designee. None. 3.4, Associated Student Government, Sunil, who's not here. Did he appoint anybody?
No, he did not.
Okay. In that case, that brings us down to Dr. Wallace.
So I just wanted to say we had a nice graduation. I won't say a great one. We had a nice drive-through graduation on August 8th. And I think the people who did the videoing and all that are going to put together a commemorative video, and then it'll be distributed via link. And I think also it may also be distributed by some flash drives. But anyway, it was the best we could do. And we'll hope for a better one next June. You never know. I do want to say that I completely agree with the comments from Richard and from Sarah. And, you know, no matter who might be responsible in the minor details, you know, as the CEO, I take the responsibility for the failure that occurred. It was significant, a significant failure in collaboration and a significant failure in foresight. But my promise to both of you and to everyone is that we're going to make some changes and we're going to move forward in a much, much more collaborative, positive direction. So thank you for those very well put together reports. And we don't disagree. We're in total agreement with you. That was it for me.
Okay. 3.6 is Dr. Bauer. Everyone's had a chance to read that. It's in, he submitted it in writing. Yes. In that case, 3.7, Mrs. Lagan. Stephanie, your mute is on.
Sorry. We have now moved up to our new home. HR is in the process of moving up to their new home. So we should all be moved in by the end of the week. Hopefully, when we're able to have you back on campus, we can give you a tour of the new areas. It's HR, business services, and then we're working on the superintendent's conference center. So those furniture has been installed. Now we just need AV equipment and those things. We have been planning for students to come back to campus. Even though we don't have as many students back on campus as we had originally planned, we are issuing all students that come to campus PPE kits so that they can be safe in their classrooms. We're also issuing faculty PPE kits, which include N95 masks, face shields, hand sanitizer, surgical masks, and we will continue to be issuing our on-campus staff and other faculty surgical masks and hand sanitizer. So that is happening ongoing. We received PPE from the state, so we will not be running out of masks or sanitizer or anything else for the very long future. We also are putting together a COVID-19 brochure for students, explaining, when they shouldn't come to campus, what we're doing to keep them safe, different places to get tested. So it's going to be just something that we can give out to students. We do have a rough draft of that in place, and we are taking it to the safety committee, which has all constituency groups on it so that we can get input, make any changes that we need to do so that we can get that published and into students' hands. We also received our signage for on campus. So our maintenance department is working on getting that signage up around campus. So hopefully by the end of this week, we'll have all of our signage in place. We also on this board agenda have created a cash flow analysis report that you will see on the information items each month. As you know, we aren't planning for a cut from the state, which means that's good for our budget. However, the cash flow will be affected because the state is issuing deferrals. So we won't get our money when they say they're, when we should. So the cash flow kind of helps us to see, do we have enough cash on hand to pay our expenses? And so you'll see that monthly. On this particular month, we have about 9.4 million cash on hand, which is wonderful. We expect to not need to have a trans loan, which is a tax revenue anticipation note. Most community colleges in the state have to get a loan so that they can pay their ongoing bills. We're very confident that we will not need this. So we will keep you up to date monthly on what our cash flow is, and let you know about that. The last thing I'd like to leave you with is that, and I had talked to Dr. Wallace about this, we were going to keep it quiet, but I just received the email from the feds saying that we did receive the TRIO grant, which is $261,888 a year for 5 years, which equals about 1.3 million to the campus. So this will greatly improve the services that we are able to offer to our students, and we'll be reaching out to all the departments that are involved in this TRIO grant so that we can then get this on the next board agenda and start delivering services to our students. So with that, that's all I have.
Pretty big.
It's kind of a lot. All right. Yes, good job. Questions for Mrs. Sligan? Hearing none. Stephanie, thank you very much. We're right along. Dean of the Needle Center, Lolly. Not here, submitted in writing. We've all reviewed that. Board of Trustees, in that case, Dr. Thomas.
He's muted.
Dr. Thomas, unmute. There you go.
Okay, I'm unmuted now. Just enjoyed hearing the reports and everything, and I'm glad that we are back moving again, getting everything together and getting everything together for the students. Other than that, nothing for at this time.
All right. Angel.
Glad to be here. Glad to see everybody. I'm glad everybody's doing okay. A few things have happened. Number one, I just became a grandfather again on Sunday. I have a little grandbaby.
Congratulations.
The other thing is, I'm another year older now, so now I'm older than Ned Heiduke. But the other thing, in a serious note, since Monday, I've been having several college students coming into the office to get some paperwork notarized, and it has to do with financial aid. I've told them to let everybody else that's getting it, that they know them to just come on in. I'm doing it at no charge for them. So whoever needs to be contacted and told that just to send them to me, and I'll take care of their paperwork, notarize their paperwork at no charge. That's it.
All right. Stella, Ms. Stires.
Thank you. Welcome, everybody. I'd like to take this time to welcome the new faculty that is starting, and also congratulations to the Palo Verde College graduates. I did watch the video. It was kind of heart-wrenching to watch. There was a big screeching noise as I was watching it. I don't know what that was. I felt our students deserved better. I think the committee had a lot of time to put something fabulous together. They had many examples of other colleges to compare to put something fabulous together. From the video, it didn't look like there were that many graduates. So I think that we could have focused a little bit more on it to make it a little bit more grandiose. As a board member, I enjoy, that is a highlight for me, is watching the students. And I was just a little disappointed in the graduation. I didn't observe the outside because the YouTube didn't carry the proceedings that were happening outside, but it was not good. I'm sorry. I want to thank the committee for their efforts, but I think Dr. Wallace, as you said, hopefully will do better. Thank you.
Mr. Heiduke, Ned.
Yes, good evening. I don't have a lot to say. Stephanie, thank you. Thank you for what you've done. I appreciate what everybody does. And Angel, you're always older than me. Thank you so much. And Dr. Wallace, we appreciate you, sir.
Mr. Rehnquist, Dave.
Yes. I'm still awake.
Your turn. What you got?
I don't have anything except I know the road between here and Flagstaff.
Okay. As for myself, there's a whole lot of work that's gone on and direction changes of our. It's a strange time. It's just a strange time. So I'd like to thank everybody for everything they've done, no matter what direction they were working. There's just a lot of work that's gone on. I'm glad we're up and running the best we can for right now. Hopefully very soon we can get this behind us and get back into normal and forget all about the old COVID-19 disaster crisis. Other than that, that's all I have. So we'll move on to section number 4 of our agenda. Mrs. Keel, presentation.
Well, good afternoon. Thank you for allowing me to be part of your meeting tonight. Good evening. I think it's going to be dark pretty soon. So I have a very small slide presentation for all of you guys, just to follow up on what's going on with fall semester. Let me see if I can share my screen real quick. This is the first time I'm going to do this, so hang in there with me, please. Maybe Lamar can help me out if I am having.
Or Maria, you should be able to just hit share screen on the bottom of your screen there.
Okay, and just click on it.
Yep, we can see you.
Can you guys see it?
Yes.
Oh my goodness, that's great. Okay, I'm sorry, hold on. I just clicked the wrong button. So here's my presentation. I just wanted to let you guys know what's going on with our instructor and student service department. I know COVID has caused a lot of problems. We are, like Richard and Sarah mentioned during their presentation, we made a lot of changes due to the fact that all face-to-face classes had to be canceled. But right now, all our full-time instructors are meeting their contracted load, which is great news. Either doing correspondence modality courses, doing online modality courses, or some of them are even doing face-to-face classes, such as the nursing, CRJ, and all the lab classes. So at this moment, they're all meeting their contracted load. We have 32 full-time instructors, and Richard mentioned all the full-time new instructors. I also put them on my slideshow. We have 78 adjunct instructors, and I recently requested to hire 7 more for Spanish, ASL, art, and business, but we're not able to use them this semester just because of all the issues that we had. So that's on hold at this moment, but just in the near future, if we need them, we will have them there in our list. So that's part of my job to try to seek more adjunct instructors. We also deal with CDCR, the California Department of Corrections. Part of my job is to keep in touch with them. And as Sarah mentioned, this year, I actually had the privilege of the honor to contact them and ask them if they would be part of Flex Day. And when Biju and I met with them we did a Zoom meeting. They had so much important information that I thought should be shared with all faculty. So it was great to have them around and be part of Flex Day. Mr. Obiaco was there, which is the principal. Dr. Fisher wasn't able to make it. Tom Sutton was there. And some of the proctors were also part from CBSB. Then we also invited ISB, and Mr. Williams was present, Mr. Chamberlain was present, and Ms. Palmer was also present. And one of the main proctors from ISP was also able to attend Flex Day. And of course, like Sarah mentioned, they provided very good information in regards to fall semester and what's going on in there. They were made aware, our faculty was made aware that proctors are only scheduled 2 days out of the week. So COVID has caused a lot of issues, including at CDCRs. Not only we work with CBSB and ISP, we work with 13 more institutions, and I'm in the process of working with Mr. Brian Coates to see if we can offer some more CTE classes at their private institution. That's something that I'm working on. So I will keep you posted. This year, we were not able to provide syllabi to the incarcerated. We were not able to actually go there and participate. We did indeed put all the files together. My staff had this folders, and in this folders, they were able to provide all syllabi to the students and first assignments. So even though we were not able to go and visit with the incarcerated, we did get a chance to go and deliver. Daniel Burton and Juan Gonzalez had the opportunity to go and deliver syllabi to CBSP, and ISP came over and picked up. So how our syllabi is delivered sometimes is either online or we print, the staff prints and they mail it out, or they deliver. Well, they used to deliver. Now with COVID, it's on hold. So, and this is just some of the pictures that I wanted to share with you. The staff printed approximately 1,354 copies to CBSP and 2,217 to ISP. And that's what the boxes look like here in our lobby. So, and this is my staff, my beautiful staff. They do an amazing job. So I just wanted to share with you some of the pictures that I took. And that's my presentation.
All right.
So how do I go back?
Questions or comments for Maria Gill?
Great job.
If not, Maria, thank you very much. I appreciate it.
Thank you.
All right, moving right along to number 5, discussion items. Section number 5.1 is the Board of Trustees self-evaluation documents. We've all received these from Carrie earlier. Some of us have had a chance to work on them. Some of us have not. So I am one of the latter. I've not had a chance to review this. However, this tool is very familiar with me, so I'll get that handled quickly. Has anybody else, any of the board members have yours ready to go tonight? Okay. We still have a little bit of time, but we do need to get it done. Anybody else have anything on 5.1, our current tool for the self-evaluation process? All right, moving right along. 5.2, we got the second reading tonight of board policies. Number 2355, decorum. Number 2745, our self-evaluation. Number 3600, auxiliary organizations. 3601-PVC, Citizens Advisory Committee. 3740, Citizens Oversight Committee. 7510, domestic partners. So everyone's had a chance to review the changes to those, the changes made, questions, comments, or concerns on those? Anything we need to bring up? All right, hearing none. Consider them discussed. Moving right along. Number 6, information items. 6.1, we have contract with River Consortium, adult educational programs. We've all had a chance to read these and go over each of their contracts individually. Yes.
Yes.
All right. Any questions, comments, or concerns on these? Anything we don't know, don't understand? All right. If not, moving on to 6.2 in the information items is our cash flow analysis. This is from Mrs. Slagan. Do you have anything you wanted to add on this, Stephanie?
Ms. Slagan, you're muted.
Sorry. So the first page on the cash flow analysis is the general fund dollars. Those are funds that can be used for anything on campus. Our ending balance for the month of July is 7.4 million. So the second page is the restricted funds. Those are categorical programs, and those are meant to be used for specific programs and services. However, for cash flow purposes, we do the same calculation. We look at, what revenue we receive and what expenses we have. So for that, we have basically 2 million. And then the last page is the combined total of both of those funds, which is where we get the 9.4 cash on hand to use. However, something that's not figured into July that you will start to see in August and September are faculty salaries, because over the summer, faculty generally, for the most part, do not receive a salary, or they receive their summer salary, but you'll start to see faculty salaries monthly, which is going to be quite a large expense. However, we do have income coming in, so we anticipate still having good cash flow during when we start paying salaries again for those. But it does include salaries for classified employees and administrators. Does anybody have any questions on this cash flow? I'll be happy to answer anything you have.
Good job, Steph.
Thank you.
Stephanie, thank you very much.
Not a problem.
Moving right along, 6.3, report of purchases and warrants for June and July 2020. We've all gone over those.
Yes, sir.
Questions, comments? All right, hearing none. 6.4, the biennial review of conflict and interest code. Questions, comments? All gone over this? No changes? No changes are necessary right now? We're good to go? All right. 6.5 is the resignation of child development, early childhood education instructor, Mrs. Ashley Davis. All right, and then we get on to 6.6, Board of Trustees training opportunities. Once again, CCLC and ACCG have provided all kinds of online webinars and classes you can take. We've had to cancel, or they've had to cancel the conventions and conferences that we usually attend to stay current on some of these, and that's just a COVID-19 disaster thing that we said we'll get back to normal here sometime soon. So, all right, hearing nothing else, move on to consent items. Please keep in mind a blanket motion will suffice to cover 7.1 through 7. I believe it's 5 through 7.5. So I'll read through them. If we need to stop and discuss or pull any of these out for their own vote, we can certainly do that. If not, we'll just proceed through. 7.1 is special student admissions for the fall. We've had a chance to go through those classes. All right. Anyone have any heartburn with them? All right. 7.2 is a contractual agreement with Marco Granillo for basically vehicle maintenance and wash, something we've done usually every August for the following year. .3 is approval of the records destruction list for the Office of Administrative Services. No problem with that. Anybody? All right. 7.4 is our part-time temporary student workers for the summer. And 7.5 are the personnel actions. So to go ahead with Mr. Castillo, I'd like to welcome the new instructors to the college on behalf of the board. So at this time, I will entertain a motion to approve consent.
Approval of his consent calendar.
All right, I've got a motion and a second.
Second.
All right, any further discussion on these? Hearing none. Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Mr. Hyduke. Mr. Hyduke,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
All right, takes us to section number 8 of our current agenda. 8.1, Educational Protection Act Report of Funds. So at this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve this.
Approve.
I've got a motion. I'll entertain a second.
Second.
Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. Mrs. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Mr. Hyduke,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
motion carries.
Thank you very much. 8.2 is our participation agreement with Riverside County College District for the Strong Workforce. I'll entertain a motion.
Move to approve.
I've got a motion from Ms. Stiers. A second, please.
Second.
Second from Mr. Hyduke. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Hyduke,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
thank you.
Takes us to section number 9. Action item for personnel issues here. MOU with PVCFA CCT for additional compensation for Dr. Juliet Singler for three semester units for the fall and the spring, being 6 total units. This time I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
I have a motion and a second. Any further discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Mr. Hyduke,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
motion carries.
Okay. Section number 10, action items miscellaneous. We're down to the approval of the above discussed policy changes. So at this time for number 10.1, I'll entertain a motion to adopt the changes.
So moved.
We've got a motion from Mr. Hyduke and a second, please.
Second.
Second, Mr. Rehnquist. Questions, comments, concerns, further discussion? Hearing none. Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes, please.
Mr. Hyduke,
Ma'am.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
All right. 10.2, excused absence from a board meeting. The board notes that board member Stiers has recused herself from this vote. I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
And a second.
Second.
Got a motion and a second. Questions, comments, concerns? Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Mr. Hyduke,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
All right, 10.3, trustee excused absence from board meeting from Mr. Rehnquist. The board notes that Mr. Rehnquist has recused himself from the vote in 10.3. At this time, I'll entertain a motion to approve 10.3.
So
Move
moved.
to approve.
Got a motion from Dr. Thomas
Yes.
and a second from
Second.
Mr. Hyduk. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Mr. Hyduk,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
It's okay.
All right, 10.4, student trustee absence from board meeting. Sunil, wow. He is not here, so he does not need to recuse himself. So I'll entertain a motion.
So moved.
Second.
And a second from
Angel.
Mr.
Right.
Ramirez. Questions, comments, concerns? Hearing none. Ms. Millian?
Mr. Arneson,
Yes.
Mr. Hyduk,
Yes, ma'am.
Mr. Ramirez,
Yes.
Mr. Rehnquist,
Yes.
Ms. Stiers,
Yes.
Dr. Thomas,
Yes.
Okay. Section number 11 of our adopted agenda this evening. We have hearing of citizens on non-agenda items.
we have one person who would like to address the board, Brian Tiebo.
Okay. Brian.
Thank you. Thank you. Good evening, everybody, members of the Board of Trustees and college administration and faculty and general public. For the record, my name is Brian Tiebo, full-time faculty member at Palo Verde College, and I have a couple of remarks I'd like to read from my prepared script. With the continuing threat of the coronavirus still with us, we are starting the fall semester classes pretty much in the same way we conducted classes during most of the preceding spring semester. In accordance with guidelines of the Community College Chancellor, most of our classes are being offered correspondence or online, with only a few courses, such as labs and public safety courses, conducted face-to-face. I've been impressed by the resourcefulness and adaptability of our staff, faculty, and administrators, and most especially our students, in the face of the unusual and unprecedented challenges visited upon us over the past 6 or so months. Fortunately, thanks to the college's long-term familiarity with and experience with correspondence teaching, and to a certain extent online instruction, the continuing practice of remote instruction is now proceeding smoothly. This despite a rocky start at the beginning of the semester that was mentioned earlier tonight. The special graduation ceremony conducted last Saturday is, in my view, a noteworthy example of the resourcefulness and commitment of our staff and administrators in honoring PVC's graduates in a memorable and safe manner. I'm mindful of Trustee Steyer's comments earlier. Rest assured, I believe there is a commemorative video in production right now as we speak, and perhaps it was the rough YouTube version that you may have seen. I can't comment on it because I didn't see it, but I was there on Saturday. It was very well done. My understanding of the video, the final video, will look a lot more like a graduation, complete with at least a speech or two and several musical features, I might point out. Furthermore, useful technologies such as Zoom and Bridge Canvas have certainly proved to be blessings not only for instruction, but as well for conducting normal college business, such as this board meeting, when person-to-person contact is not feasible or advisable. I have been particularly impressed, furthermore, by the openness of PVC's administrators to the various concerns and viewpoints expressed by the college's employees and students in the midst of the coronavirus situation, and by our administrators' responsiveness in addressing those concerns, while maintaining strict adherence to the guidelines issued by the Community College Chancellor. To be sure, there have been and will be missteps along the way as we negotiate a changing and unpredictable course, but I am confident that PVC will continue to demonstrate resilience in fulfilling its educational mission safely and meaningfully. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Brian, thank you. Questions or comments for Brian?
Brad?
Yes.
I just have a note from Diana Mendez. She wants me to tell Mr. Ramirez that she's gonna let the students know about what you're doing, and she really, really appreciate what you're doing for them. Thank you, she said.
Thank you.
Also, wanted to let you know, we did get the edited video up on social media and on our YouTube page. So, and those were taken with professional cameras. So we understand that there were technical difficulties during the live ceremony, but we were able to get good audio visual snaps of the graduation ceremony. And those are on Facebook and YouTube and the Palo Verde College website. So those have been changed out.
Okay. Okay, well, thank you. Is there anything else, any other thing under hearing of citizens on non-agenda items?
So Brad, I wanted to mention that when we go into the closed session, I think Lamar is going to pull us into a breakout room, the board members and myself.
Okay.
And then when we're done with that closed session, we're supposed to end that session. I think there'll be a button that says end the session or something like that, and we'll automatically be popped back into the public session.
Public session, okay. That will work. In that case, thank you all very much. And the board and Dr. Wallace are retired to closed session.
All right, so the members of the board should see a pop-up coming on the screen inviting them to the closed session. And when you're done, just as Dr. Wallace said on the bottom right, instead of leaving the meeting, you will leave the room to come back to the main meeting. Once one or two come out as well, I can close the breakout room and everybody will automatically come back. So
okay.
You should see your invites popping up here pretty soon.
We have to do what?
Mr. Rehnquist, you should see something on your screen saying join breakout room, closed session. You just need to click on that.
Now I see it.
All right, just click on that.
All right.
And same for you, Dr. Thomas. You should see an invitation to join the breakout.
Join?
Yes, please. Click on that. Hey, Dave, did you see that on your screen? Join breakout room?
No.
Go ahead and click on that with your mouse there. It says join.
Where it says join?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. It's not joining very well.
All right. Let me try to move you in there again.
Well, leave it to me.
Just a sec. Do you still see it on your screen there, Dave? Join breakout room?
It says closed session, join.
Yeah, click where it says join with the mouse.
Join, that's all I do. Not doing anything.
Use your mouse, Dave.
Do what?
Use your mouse. Just,
The mouse?
yes.
The mouse, Lenny? I hit it on join or later?
Click on join, please.
Okay, now it went.
All right, Carrie, they're all in the room. I can see that they're all in there.
Okay, thank you.
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie, can you hear me? I think everyone can hear me in this room. The video is on the college website now. Is that what you said?
Yes.
The graduation video?
So Bianca has done the final editing.
Yeah,
And
okay.
if you go to the college's website
Yeah,
and then go to graduation 2020,
okay.
the video link is located in there.
Okay, I see. Is it a link or is it like a,
It's a YouTube video. It's embedded.
okay,
It's also available on Facebook for both the Palo Verde College Foundation Facebook page and then the main Palo Verde College. So it should be the new, the updated version.
okay. Was it good?
I don't know. She just
Okay.
got it up today
Oh, okay.
in the middle of us moving.
Yeah. Yeah, I'll look at it. Yeah.
Brad, you're muted.
You're muted, Brad.
Okay, how about now? Are we good?
Yep.
We're in the regular board meeting now.
Okay. In closed session, the Board of Trustees took action to release an educational administrator. A roll call vote was taken and the vote was as follows. Brad Arneson was a yes. Ed Gonzalez was absent. Ned Hyduk was a yes. Angel Ramirez was a yes. Dave Rehnquist was a yes. Stella Stiers was a yes. Dr. George Thomas was a yes. Motion carried by a yay vote of 6. There were no abstentions. There were no votes, and there was 1 absent. All right, having passed through our regular order of business, we'll now proceed to close our meeting. We are officially adjourned. Thank you all very much. A lot of work today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Thank you.
All right. Lamar, are you still here?
Good night. Thank you.
I'm here, Brad.
Hey, thank you for everything. I had a lot of switching around and pulling up screens and maneuvering. So thank you. I appreciate it.
No problem. My pleasure.
All right. Here we go. I'm heading out.